Well, hello, everybody watching on Pivot Shift Ahead or wherever you may be watching. It's your friend James Shaw, and I trust you're doing okay. You know this, my favorite thing to do on the planet is to talk to people who are doing great things, right? How do we take some simple stuff and turn it into a system so that you can win? And we're going to have one of those conversations today. My friend Trudy, right here in the great state of Florida with me. You're just north and east of me up in St. Augustine.
That's
Trudy,
right.
thanks for being here. Thanks for being on. Will you introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are and a little bit about your business.
Absolutely. So my name is Trudy Padilla. I'm a realtor and the team leader of the Trudy Can Sell That team. We cover all of Northeast Florida, but headquartered right here in sunny St. Augustine. I have been a real estate agent for a little over 6 years. Prior to that, I was involved in running mortgage fulfillment operations centers for places like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo. And in college, I was a title insurance agent. So I really started at the end and have moved my way right back to the beginning of the line in real estate. So
So much
that's,
experience, and congratulations on the success
thank
of your
you.
team and all that stuff. It's great. You know, one thing we talk about as we go into the fourth quarter is this is a really easy time of year to be able to go all in on your database
Yeah.
and to support them and to connect with them and let them know you care about them, right? As we enter spooky season, gratitude season, and holiday season.
Yeah.
And you've really leveraged this time of year as a way to connect with your database, doing the three P's, right? The three P's: pumpkins, pies, and poinsettias. For you, I always said pumpkins, pies, and pictures. So some people
Yeah.
might do like family photos. You're doing poinsettias, but you've got kind of a model and system that's working. The first thing is, what led you to start to do that in the first place? Like, why give away so much stuff this time of year?
It actually is Keller Williams. So Keller Williams is not where I started my professional experience as a real estate agent. So I joined here in 2019, and the Market Center here in St. Augustine had already started working on pie parties. And so the Market Center actually has a really great system. They actually will provide the food, drinks, decorations, and the atmosphere, and so agents just provide the pies and invite the guest list. So it's really a good way to scale into client events. Makes it super easy, especially in your first couple of years. Our larger teams now tend to have their own parties, but it really is something that we do very consistently in the Market Center. And for me, when I first started, I thought, why would I do that? This seems so corny and weird. And you know, anytime you have an opportunity to connect with your database in a meaningful way, real estate is going to come up. And I just realized almost immediately I was going on appointments immediately after the pie party. And every year, the front end of my calendar year is booked usually from referrals or conversations that are had as part of the pie party planning process.
Okay, so the first pro tip is, if you're a solo agent out there, whether your market center is going to do an event or not, partner with some other people in your office. You can split up some of the costs that way. You can create a larger event with maybe a little bit more energy. So partner with some others. That's a great tip.
Mhm.
And so let's use your pie one as an example, right? Because I imagine, well, your pie party is November 22nd, right, of this year. It's coming up. That's Thanksgiving week, so you're getting ready to do your pies.
Yeah.
And so can you walk us through, you're not waiting till the 21st of November. The planning's
Yeah.
underway, right? Walk us through what that looks like.
Yeah, so the planning is underway. Well, I'll tell you, holiday season, we have such an emphasis on quarterly calls. So client events and quarterly calls are always a big part of a 36 touch plan. And I can tell you that my quarterly calls are all around pie party or poinsettias or something, something around that. So, every call that I'm making between now and the pie party, it has something to do with the pie party. And then after the pie party is going to be, sorry we missed you, love to swing by and drop off a poinsettia. Or I'm not sure if we're doing poinsettias this year, but it'll be something holiday related. So that's the first thing, is the communication starts just in the interactions that you're having in your quarterly calls. I send out invites. So those invites went out last week. in the mail. And then I have a smart plan that is set up, and I actually publish that smart plan so anyone can use it. And the smart plan is a series of emails and texts that just create some excitement around the pie party. And then the follow up to that, which is really key, is the conversations that you had at the party. You follow up immediately after the party. The people that missed the party, are you check in on them? We're sorry we missed you. And then again, the people who couldn't come up, that's where we do the Popeyes after the party.
Really smart. So you're doing a bunch of work on the front end.
Mhm.
I guess I imagine that who you invite matters, right? So you're inviting your VIPs, no doubt about that, your most important people, sphere, past clients, vendors, what,
Yeah.
anybody really in your database that's local or whatever is getting invited to this? Is that how it works?
No, it's not everybody, but it is. You actually got it right. It is our VIPs. I do invite my vendor partners, the ones that really help us with our business. They certainly are invited. And then my close neighbors, so the people who live around me, I invite that. They're kind of my sphere anyway. So yeah, so it really is the VIPs. And usually you get somewhere between 10 and 20% of the people you invite. So that really does help you in the planning process. So you kind of know, well, if I want to entertain this many people, then my guest list should be no more than this.
It seems like that this requires more than just an invitation or a phone call, you want to reach out multiple times on the front end to remind them of the event, and then reach out multiple times on the back end, whether they came or not, right?
Right. That's exactly right. It's really the biggest part of a client event is touching base, having a meaningful conversation with your database. And there's no better way in my book than to show. We're showing gratitude, so we want to make sure that we're letting them know why we're doing the pie party, because we appreciate them so much and would love to connect with them in a meaningful way. And so yeah, every bit of communication is around making sure that we touch that group 100% without fail.
I love it. What's your follow-up look like afterwards, right? So I get that you're doing calls, emails, postcards, you're doing a smart plan with texts and all that kind of stuff. What do you do after so that you can keep the opportunity coming in even after the event's over?
Yeah. So we really have kind of a control tower type of activity going on where I've got the people who RSVP'd affirmatively. And so then we compare that list with who actually showed up. So the people who didn't show up, we contact immediately. The people who did show up, we do have a reach out plan. So I try to get a lot of photos. And so I like to send out either a little video or some personal photos as a thank you. It was great to see you. And then I really try to personalize it. It is a lot of work, I'm going to tell you, but it's meaningful work. I mean, it's about the engagement, and you really do get the engagement. And then the people who weren't able to show up go into a separate category, and those are the people that we try to make sure that we reach out to after the pie party.
I love this. This is great. Now you've got kind of a playbook you've put together that
Yeah.
for our Inspire members, you're a member, everybody who's in our private mastermind community, we're going to give you that playbook. So that'll be in the Inspire Facebook group. For the majority of you who are not a member of that group, you're part of Pivot Shift Ahead. Trudy's outlined this plan for you so you can just kind of implement. She also has put together the smart planning command. You have a command smart plan, and it's called what?
Yeah.
TCST Pie Party 2022. So if they go search for it, it'll pop up, and they can go put their own database right on the same command smart plan you're using, right?
That's right. And I love the sort of plug and play activities. It just makes it so much easier. So I've given some direction on how to best use that smart plan. And then you just start adding, your invite list into that plan and let it go.
All right, so Inspire members, go to the Inspire Facebook group to download Trudy's playbook for this, and everybody else, you can go implement the smart plan that we just gave you a second ago. What are your final pro tips that you want to share with anybody who's thinking about doing something like this fall?
Well, I think the pro tip I would add is you don't have to do it all at once, right? So there's lots of great ideas around successful parties, but if this is your first year, just go very simple. You can scale up every year. And I hear great ideas every year that will help level up how client experience at the pie party. So it's another way of just adding something new every year. If I did it all at once, I probably wouldn't have been successful at it, and then I wouldn't have anywhere to grow into.
It's no different than eating your pie one bite at a time, right? That's how it works. Kind of implement this one bite at a time and you'll be in good
Yeah.
shape. Trudy, thank you so much for sharing this. We appreciate you. This is awesome for you to take some time to jump in to Pivot and help everybody as they look to execute some kind of event this fall. For those of you watching, thank you so much. We will see you all on the calls. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.